I'm Seyka of For Goodness Seyks, and this is my mom,
Alexandra.
That's right. And we're doing a Mother's Day special or Mother's Day weekend special lunch break live today, cooking some fried rice.
How fun. I can't wait.
Can everybody hear us? We're working with some new microphones. How are they doing?
So far, no one's on. So maybe oh, we got one person.
We got somebody. Can they hear us? The first few moments are always, a little touch and go.
Cool. Let's assume yes.
Touch and go.
That's right. That's right. But we gotta stay here. We gotta keep it fun. All right. So we've already got some things cooking for you guys. We're putting together a really fun fried rice recipe today. This is going to have a low histamine option for the 12 of us that there are, and there's going to be a non-low histamine option that has better flavor. So let me tell you a little bit of what's going on here. What we did before we started the show, we chopped up a large organic yellow onion into bite-sized chunks, and we put that in this large frying pan. We are sauteing gently in a garlic oil. It's on low for a while. We're getting that translucent, gentle scent coming off of it. And then I'm gonna take the garlic. We have a whole head of garlic in here that I've put through the food processor. And we're going to add this to the dish. Now, I'm a real garlic monster. And I want to know, Mom, do you remember when that started? Do you have a memory of, do you feed garlic to children when they're really young?
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Yes, I think that where you learned to love garlic was actually our summer times at Gami's house in Fresno by the pool. And we used to make homemade salsa, homemade guacamole, homemade, even the chips we made.
Yes.
Homemade chips. And we made virgin margaritas for the kids.
Yep. And
we'd sit out by the pool and we'd have it. And yes, we were all garlic lovers.
That makes a lot of sense. A lot of my first memories, my special memories, came from our cooking when I was young, cooking with Gami, she referenced, and that's your mom, my grandmother. When we were on our 21 country vegan voyage, we had a really sweet conversation with someone who said, people often think they're really attached to a certain type of food. And when you really break it down, it's often the memory that you're really attached to. Yes. And you can recreate some of those products. Maybe you had a really strong relationship with your mom and you guys used to eat steak together all the time. And now you don't want to give up steak because you don't want to give up those memories with your mom. Mm-hmm. And there are really great ways to recreate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the vegan sushi that you make, because that was always one of Papa's favorites.
Right.
We loved going to sushi, but now we have just as good, in fact, if not even better, vegan sushi.
Yes, that's right. And the vegan BLTs. That's another family favorite is the bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. And now we make it with a tempeh bacon, and it really satisfies that deep heart need to get to have that experience.
I wonder. We'll have to do fondue sometime.
Yeah, we'll have to do fondue sometime. That's a great idea, Brian.
Absolutely. And the other thing, if we can come up with a lemon meringue vegan.
Oh, I'm sure we can. We just got to use the aquafaba for that whip.
Probably would work.
So we'll work on that recipe and bring it to you guys soon. Okay. Let me check in. Can people hear us?
Yeah, we got audio. We got some people commenting.
Woo-hoo! Thank you, guys. We got audio. That's what we're looking for. Let's go back to this recipe. So, what we have next. So, we have the onion and the garlic sauteing in some garlic olive oil. If you don't have a garlic infused olive oil, it's fine to just use regular olive oil. I just, if I can fit garlic in, I do. So that's a way to get a little extra. The next thing we're going to get ready, and we've already prepared some of this that's in the oven, so it'll be ready by the time we put everything together, but I wanted to show you how we do it, is the tofu. So you take some firm or extra firm organic tofu, and you take the block and you're just going to crumble it so it gets kind of that texture you're used to seeing in fried rice. The protein, visual protein structure you're used to seeing. And then I'm gonna rinse all that goop off my hands. I'm going to add some Bragg's liquid aminos. And if this were for a full block of the tofu, I'd use about a 1/4 cup. Since it's a smaller amount, I'll use a little bit less. A little bit of rice vinegar. Smells so good. Oops.
Oh, it does.
You start to get, you start to really get that tang that we love. Perfect. And then some organic toasted sesame oil. And this is something that I learned from my mom too. This is such a good flavor. If you're not used to using a toasted sesame oil, that's good. It's a really good one. It's a really fun way to add flair to a lot of the dishes that you make.
And I actually deconstructed a recipe once by taste from a Japanese restaurant that I went to. Do you remember that? When I experimented and I actually came up with what the flavors were.
So amazing. Yeah, that's definitely a trick that you taught me that I now love doing. Tasting and then figuring out, okay, how'd they make this?
Right.
How'd they make this? It's really fun. Takes some honing of that skill.
And they wouldn't give me the recipe, but they would sell me a bottle of it for $10.
There you go.
I got your number. I'm going to figure this out.
Perfect. That's what I need. I need a bottle to reconstruct.
That's right.
There's a fun restaurant in Hermosa Beach, California called, what's it called? With the love sauce. Yeah. Called The Spot, and they have love sauce, right? Or is it just white sauce?
I forget
Special sauce.
Special sauce, maybe?
And it's this creamy, heavenly, oh my gosh, like an Alfredo sauce. And using that, they actually give the recipe away. So that's fun that they do that. They let people have it.
Yeah, that one's
That's
really
nice.
good.
That's really good. So in this tofu, oh my gosh, it smells so good with all these delicious sauces. I'm going to add some of this vegan chickenless seasoning salt from Trader Joe's. Actually, this is mostly for the color. It's delicious. It smells like top ramen. Yeah, it has turmeric in it.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Right? It smells like that top ramen seasoning, but it's onion, garlic, and turmeric, basically. So, but the color's really good. Start to get some of that yellow color that you kind of think of when you think of fried rice.
And it's probably full of nutrition.
Yeah. Turmeric's good for something. I can't remember what.
That's a joke that we used to tell because it's actually good for your memory. So, prevents Alzheimer's.
I can't remember what it's good for.
They say.
Yeah. So we've got this beautiful mixture. What we've actually already done so that this can be cooking is we've placed the pre-made batch of it in the oven, so it's baking. We're getting some of the water out. And that's baking at a convection bake of 450. It won't be in there too long, so that's why it's nice and hot.
Is this good on the apples?
That's
Small
perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Great.
Now I'm going to take all this ginger that we pre-peeled because I didn't want to be standing here peeling the ginger. It is well washed, so I'm okay with some of the skin, but I just take off a lot of it. And then we're going to put it in the food processor.
So you
gotta
do a dance?
You gotta do a dance.
Yeah.
Come on over here.
All right.
We're doing a dance.
Okay,
all right. It's the blender dance.
Okay.
Woo! Oh, I might need 2 hands.
Uh-oh.
Woo! Blender dance. That's right. Perfect. Now it's well blended. And now I'm going to take this beautiful ginger. Ginger's got so many health benefits. It's really good for soothing the stomach. It's really good for a lot of stuff. I wish you guys could just smell what's happening in this kitchen because with the garlic, the ginger, the onion all mixing together, plus all those delicious seasonings in that tofu, wow, we've really got some fun flavors going along. I should also let you guys know that we pre-cooked some organic brown rice, and it was refrigerated so that we can add that to the dish and mix it up today. So otherwise, if I hadn't pre-cooked it, it'd be on here on the stove as well. So if you go to make it yourself, pre-make it. Pre-make the rice. So you're ready to toss it in as soon as you're ready. All right, so you can also see yellow onion, garlic, and ginger. We're getting more of that yellow color. So some of what you're getting out of food is the flavor. Some of what you're getting is the scent. some of what you're getting is the texture, and some of what you're enjoying is the visual aspect of it. So when we're replicating a recipe, it's really fun if you can get all those different pieces to kind of come together. And I'm thinking about that whenever we're putting this together. So that yellow is what I'm aiming for. I have this whole mixture cooking on low, maybe slightly over low. So it's just getting fragrant, all mixing together, melding nicely. What's next here?
Do you need more of this peeled?
No, that is good. I just wanted it out here so people could, it's representative. The visual. So while this is mixing, we're going to give that a second. Then we're going to add the carrot and then some apple for something sweet. A lot of fried rice recipes, believe it or not, will add sugar because you want something sweet to it. I am very anti-sugar in almost every one of my recipes. If the standard recipe calls for sugar, I find a way to integrate a fruit instead.
Makes sense.
Right?
Yep.
So that's what we're up to next. So let me do a food processor. We're going to do a few rounds of this.
In fact, I bet when people come to your house and they say, "Can I have some sugar for my coffee?" you probably don't even have any to give them, right?
Don't even have any.
That happens at my house too.
Yes. We are, luckily.
Susanna, that's for you.
Luckily, not that many people are coming over right now. So, we don't run into that awkward
right
bit. Yeah. All right. Oops. You got to put the blade in before the carrots, you guys.
Do you need a bowl?
Nah, the counter's very clean.
It is. I cleaned it for you.
You guys aren't eating off of it anyway, so,
right.
but it is. So this is a really fun recipe because it is able to match. I got a blender dance.
Oh, do the dance. Okay.
Do blender dance. All right. Woo! All right. Blender food processor dance. So the carrot is a really fun flavor. We don't need it to be fully cooked. We just want it to get a little softened and incorporated with all these other foods. This dish is gonna get crazy real quick. So you can see we're layering in different flavors. Now I'm gonna kick that heat up just a smidge. Take a look in the oven, and you can see the edges of the tofu starting to brown just a little bit. I'm gonna just move it around a little so it's not just the edges getting crispy. I'm also moving this around so that we get this delicious smell into the kitchen because it smells so good. Great. Checked on that. That's still good to go. So I'll leave that in there. A little bit more carrot, add the apple, and then we're really rounding the corner. We're almost done.
All right.
Yeah.
That looks so good. I can't wait to try it.
Right? So how did you, Mom, come to love cooking?
You know what? My mother taught me.
One sec. All right, go ahead.
As a very young girl, she taught me. In fact, the very first thing that I ended up making was that lemon meringue pie that I told you about. So
wow.
My mom was big into desserts, and so that was the first thing I learned to make. And unfortunately, my sister, she was the third child, so she didn't get in on the mixture. So it was really just passed down to the first daughter.
Wow.
And you're the first daughter, so
That's right.
Mother to first
I'm the
daughter.
only daughter.
You're the only daughter.
Yes.
That is correct. You're the only daughter.
Yes. Except for my brother's wife, but that's different.
Yeah, that's a different kind of daughter.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're still a daughter.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So we used to cook together all the time, and then when we moved to Germany for a while, my father had a very important position in banking. And my mother had to throw these very fancy dinner parties for the heads of banks and people like that, and very important people in business. And so I was her sous chef.
Wow.
And I was also her serving person. So at a very young age, about, I think it was like 12 or 13, something like that. And I was cooking in the kitchen and bringing dishes to the table.
So cool. That's awesome.
I felt very important.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was fun.
So we're going to take about an apple and a half. Put this into the food processor and add this for some sweetness. I bet the bankers, the people who came over to your parties were very impressed too, having a little sous chef and server helping.
Probably, yeah, they probably were.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
No dance
dance
this
this
time. I got danced out.
And then another great thing that my mom did once, when I was about 5, is I really wanted to help her serve to a group of ladies she was having over for tea. And so she gave me a tray, and it was full of, I think it had some kind of cocktail sauce, maybe it had shrimp on it or something like that. And she said, be very careful. And I was walking into the living room, and I tripped, and the whole tray went onto the white rug. And you know what? She was so gracious about it. She said, that's okay, sweetie, don't worry about it. And all the ladies there were so gracious. And I learned at that point in time that you can actually, make a big mistake like that, and you can recover from it. So
That's so sweet.
it was a really good lesson.
That's really lovely. How precious. Yeah, the show must go on, and it's all right. We are only human. Right?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm now going to add, some broccoli and cauliflower. Sorry. No, you're good.
Okay.
That's all right. The show must go on. We're only human. You can.
I gotta take a look.
You can cough. Would you like a cup of water?
Yes, I will.
Let me grab you a cup of water.
No, I'll get it.
Yep, right in there.
Yeah.
So now we have almost all the ingredients that are gonna go into this pan. We have onion, a lot of garlic, a lot of ginger, carrot, broccoli, cauliflower, and some apple. And it's all being sauteed in that garlic olive oil. We haven't added any salt yet. Would you do a teaspoon of this ginger into the pan?
You bet.
That's ginger. So that's powdered ginger. So more ginger. I believe in spices in like every form. So I do some fresh and then I do some powdered. I want to really get all that different flavor. All right, and then a healthy serving of that garlic powder.
Okay, just sprinkle it in.
Yeah, just sprinkle it in.
It's a lot of garlic.
Perfect. That's how I like it.
Is that good?
Perfect. Thank you. We bought, what was it, a 10-pound bag?
5 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
5-pound bag of garlic.
Wow. And we're not worried about
That's
not getting through it.
Yeah. It will never expire.
That's right. Okay, so I'm going to let this sit now that we have it well seasoned. I'm going to turn that heat up. I'm going to cover it, bring out our tofu mixture, and get ready to plate this bad boy. So there's some of our tofu. You can see the texture and the colors starting to look like that fried rice you think about when you think about fried rice. And I've got some flavors to top it. So the toppings that we have here are just some dehydrated organic chives. We've got a little bit more of these seasonings of the sesame oil or the liquid aminos if it doesn't have enough kick. This is a great way to add some salty flavor. Some sriracha if you like it spicy. And then if you want something a little sweet, some pomegranate concentrate. Those are our topping options. Now, to let the rice heat up with this mixture, I'm taking some of our rice that we cooked just before this show and mixing that in. The rice is not flavored. This is just some plain organic brown rice. Now that's a full pot. Woo! That's a full pot. But it's just one pot, just one pot to clean, which is nice. Well, incorporating it all. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Mother's Day weekend. Our hearts go out especially to moms who can't be with their kids. I know COVID's really interfered with travel and people not being able to spend time together. So for any mamas who don't get to be with their kids, we send you lots of love. Our hearts are with you. I feel so lucky to get to be with my mom.
I feel so lucky to get to be with you. Had to brave the airport.
Yeah. She went on an airport. She had a full face mask on.
Not just a full face mask. It was actually the kind that you use to do heavy duty construction work.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of funny looks going through the airport.
Yeah, our dog Cosmo barked as he saw her approaching the car.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh. I look very scary.
Yeah. But then he was very happy once she took off the mask. So letting this all heat up.
So good.
Smells real good. I'm gonna take a bowl for plating and put this all together. So take a look at this beauty.
Beautiful.
It's a 1 bowl meal, but it's high in protein, high in whole grains, lots of nutrients, tons of vegetables. This is a really great meal for health and wellness.
That's beautiful.
That's pretty nice, right? Mm-hmm. Let me add some toppings to it so we can get, the full experience. It's steamy and gorgeous. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this basil to kind of, beautify it a little bit.
Paige just joined.
Hey, Paige. Thanks for joining us. Anybody who's joining and just can't get enough of us, we're going to be on again today at 2 p.m. for our travel show. That's a new Jane Unchained show where Brian's currently behind the camera, where Brian and I talk about our 21 country travels. It's actually more like 26 international countries that we've been to, but 21 of them were all in one trip. Today we're going to talk about some of our best vegan travel hacks, and we're going to be talking a little bit, we'll see how much we get through, we're talking a little bit about travel medication and some of the better options for you to choose. Some of the medications that you would think that you can have are not vegan. That was a rude awakening. You can't get non-drowsy, Dramamine. Non-drowsy Dramamine of all things.
What does it have in it?
Has milk in it?
I
forget. But when we were looking them all up, and that was one of the ones that we were like, well, shoot, I guess we're just having ginger drops. So
ginger's good.
Yes, we're going to be talking about a lot of that. That's at 2 p.m. Pacific today, so in 1 hour. And Mom, I think this has cooled off a little bit.
Ooh, that's so good.
Are you ready to take a bite and tell them how it tastes?
That is gorgeous. Yummy.
I wish you guys, I always wish they could smell.
I know. We have to figure out a way to have smell go through the camera. So good.
It's so good.
So good. I like the way that the vegetables are still crunchy.
Yeah.
So you don't cook it all the way through, which is really great. I got to get a bite with some apple in it.
I should have made that more clear too. That is a key part. I love having the vegetables. They're really al dente cooked. So you just want them, but you basically want them warm. You want them warm so they're still crunchy. All the different textures kind of coming together. Yep. You've got the rice is its own texture. The vegetables are its own. The tofu is its own. It's
so good.
Comes together well.
You can cook the rice different levels too, right?
That's right. So you can pre-fry the rice. We've definitely done that. You can fry it either in regular olive oil, or you can fry it in that sesame oil. And what you're going to do is you're just going to pre-cook the rice, and then once it's not wet anymore, you're going to fry it in some hot oil and give it an extra crunch. That's really yummy too.
So good.
That's really yummy. Well, thank you guys so much for joining today. We have so many exciting things that we're working on right now. Can't wait to share with you. Thanks for being here, Mom,
and for
cooking with me. Happy Mother's Day to you, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes,
None of us would be here without you. Love you guys. Bye.